Hi guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today we're going to talk about all of the books that I added to my Goodreads TBR during the month of January. So during the month of January, I added 8 books to my TBR. These are all books that I added to my Goodreads TBR, not my physical TBR. So none of the books that I haul are ever included in these. Those are included in my haul videos. So these are just books that I heard about and I thought they sounded interesting. And so I added them to my Goodreads list of books that I would like to read. So I will also include in this all of the sources where I found out about each of these books and link anything that I can down below. So if it's from a different channel, I will link the video I learned about it from down below, an Instagram account, a website, anything like that. All of those sources will be linked down below, so definitely go check those out at the end of the video. Let's get into this. So the first book that I added to my TBR, sorry, I keep looking down, I have my list here, is Okay for Now by Gary D. Schmidt. And I heard about this from Katie at Life Between Words. This was in her top 10 books of the decade video that she did. And yeah, it is a middle grade book. I know she talks about Gary D. Schmidt a lot, and I've never read anything by him, and this one sounded great. I mean, if she thinks it's one of the top of the decade, then I'm gonna take her word for it and probably check it out. But I think it has to do with the Vietnam War, kind of the aftermath maybe of that, and just these two boy or a boy and a girl, and I think one might have an abusive father, and one of them's brother just came back from the war, and just kind of life after the war and how that affected the kids. I think. I may be wrong, but that was my understanding of it. So I added that one, and I may be checking that one out during middle grade March. We'll see. The next book that I added to my list is another middle grade book. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I think all but 2 of these are middle grade books. There's a reason for that though, and I will explain that in a minute. So the second one though is another middle grade book, and that is called Behind the Bedroom Wall by Laura E. Williams. This one I added because my daughter's class just read it. It was their read aloud book in class, and she came home talking about it. We were able to have an awesome conversation about World War II. I gave her Number the Stars, which is what was one of my favorite historical fiction books as a kid. And so, it was just a great opportunity, kind of a bonding moment for us, but she requested that I read it. So I should probably do that sooner rather than later, because she really liked it. And it is a World War II historical fiction, and it is about a little girl who joins the Nazi youth, and then she finds out that her family is hiding Jews. And so kind of what happens there, and how the conflict kind of in her head, how that all pans out. So that was another one I added. The third middle grade book that I added is Other Words for Home by Jasmine Warga. This, I am in a mock Newbery group on Goodreads, and before the Newbery Award was announced, they kind of had a whole poll going on who they thought was going to win it, and this book kept coming up over and over and over again. People really thought that this had a chance of winning the Newbery, and so it sounded really good. It is about a Syrian, I believe, refugee. A little girl, her and her mom come and live in Cincinnati, and it is about them and just kind of her experiencing America for the first time, and how she feels like it's all so fast and so loud, and her finding her place in her new home. And it just sounded absolutely great. And so I went ahead and added that one. Another one I added that is an adult book is In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park. This is about a woman who escapes North Korea, and it's her story of her journey escaping and kind of how she was able to get out and what her life has become since. And it sounded fascinating. I know there have been multiple people that have escaped North Korea that have written memoirs, and I haven't read any yet, and it's on my list of things that I would like to read. But this book I heard about from Dezi at Pastel Pages. Her and her husband have an Instagram account called Globetrotters, I think. Hold on, let me see. It's called, The Globe Goers. So it's called the Globe Goer, or their Instagram account is called the Globe Goers. I will link it down below. But she does occasionally on her Instagram stories book recommendations and what she's currently reading and that kind of thing. And this was one that she recommended, so it really looked great. Added that one. The next one I added is another middle grade book, and that is The Blackbird Girls by Anne Blankman. Now, I read The Prisoner of Night and Fog and The Conspiracy of Blood and Smoke, which is a World War II duology by Anne Blankman, YA. I thought it was great, but it kind of piqued my interest when the author's name was mentioned. I heard about this from the Owl Crate girls. They did a video about their most anticipated books coming up, I think, for the year. And this is a middle grade book about Chernobyl. And so that just sounded fascinating to me. I know I like Anne Blankman's writing style, and yeah, Chernobyl, it just sounded great. So it's set in the Ukraine. I can't wait for this one to come out and check it out. So that is yet another middle grade book that I added to my list. All right, so then after that, we get into kind of award winners. This was after the Newbery Award winner was announced, and if you have not seen that already, the Newbery Award winner for 2019 was New Kid by Jerry Craft, which I already read, and it was fantastic. And I was so excited that a graphic novel won for the first time. It was a really big deal. So yeah, anyway, the American Library Association put out a whole announcement about the Newbery Award winner and the Caldecott Award winner, and then I didn't know this, but there's a whole list of all other sorts of awards that are given out at the same time. And so I read through all of them, and the rest of the books on this list are award winners or were mentioned in that announcement. So the first of which is the Odyssey Award for the best audiobook in young adult children's literature. And the winner of that award was Hey Kiddo by Jarrett J. Krasowska. That guy. But anyway, this is a graphic novel, so it's a full-on graphic novel, and it won for the best audiobook. So that piqued my interest a ton. I thought that was really interesting. So I went and grabbed the book and checked the audiobook out, and I'm hoping to listen to it while I physically read it together this month sometime, hopefully, if I get to it. But yeah, so I added that because that whole just scenario intrigued me a lot. Another graphic novel that I added, it was the winner for the Sydney Taylor Book Award winner, and the Sydney Taylor Book Award is given to books who demonstrate the Jewish experience well, and this is called White Bird. It's by R.J. Palacio, who is the author of Wonder, and in kind of some of the Wonder short stories, you meet Grandmere, who is Julian's grandmother in the Wonder World universe, and this graphic novel follows her story. And she is Jewish, and she was living in Nazi-occupied France during the war, and so she was hiding as a Jew during the war in Nazi-occupied France, and it's her story told in graphic novel form by R.J. Palacio. All of those things, all combined together, sound fantastic to me, so that one got added. And then the last one that I added, and I'm pretty sure this is considered young adult, but I'm not 100% sure, and it is the winner of the Asian Pacific American Award for Literature, and it was the YA winner. Oh, so yeah, it's YA. But it is They Called Us Enemy by George Takei, and this is his memoir, told in graphic novel form, of his time in the concentration camps here in the United States during World War II for Japanese American people. So it's just kind of his experience through that and how that affected him. And I cannot wait to read that because I think it will be fascinating and hard to read all at the same time. So anyway, those are the books that I added to my Goodreads TBR this month. There wasn't a whole lot, and I'm kind of glad because my Goodreads TBR is getting up there. It's not as bad as some, but for me, it's getting up there, and I kind of like to keep it under control. So I was really happy with the amount that I added this month, and I think I found some good ones. Like I said, not too many outside influences this month, which is also, I feel good. It's kind of one of my goals of mine this year to be reading things that I'm discovering for myself. So, anyway, all of that being said, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have read any of these books, though, please comment down below. I would love to hear your comments about any of these, if you recommend them or if you don't, what your opinions are about them. If you have not heard of some of these and now you're going to add them to your TBR, let me know that as well. I would love to hear about that. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya!